Hello, hello, and welcome everybody to another episode of Today's Weather Tonight. Here, as always, I'm Cloud Hudson, and we're going to go into what just happened with the weather today. It is a beautiful Friday evening. It's Venus's day, Friday, Freya Day. So I'm of course wearing my pink to please her, and that teal green Venusian color hair. If you know, you know. Welcome back, y'all. So glad that we're here. So glad you're here. Let's go ahead and get into sharing a screen. How was everybody's day? Nobody's here yet, but I'm sure that somebody's watching this on replay in the future at some point in time. So let's see. I will go ahead and start off with our planetary weather today. Let's go to our planetary weather and then share the screen. Okay. Working. One day I will have, I really do believe that I will have a website that's got all of these things all together, but I'm not quite there yet. I just started, you never do things that you don't start. You have to start something to do it. So it does take a while. But I do hope to have my own website with all of these updates and analysis data all together in one place. But for now, I'm using the tools that already exist in the world. Okay, so like I said, today is Friday, means it's a Venus day, and we are in a Venus hour. How gorgeous is that for us to be in this? We're approaching a Mercury hour, which is when I like to broadcast because I believe that helps me communicate better. But I also love broadcasting in a Venus day and Venus hour. And let's take a look at Venus right now. She is sitting at 4 degrees of Capricorn, making that trine to Jupiter and Taurus. But the big story for me tonight is that we've got a much better more exact sextile between, what am I saying? Sextile between Saturn and Jupiter is still applying, and a hard square between the Sun and Jupiter. Really hard square there. So ways that we're plugging our ego into the matrix of society, squaring off with, again, how we're being nourished. I how are we eating? Are we eating in public in front of everyone? Are we serving good looks for everybody? Let's take a look at the conjunction right here. This Mercury and Mars conjunction in Capricorn. This is putting your money where your mouth is, especially co-present with Venus being money. Put your money where your mouth is. And that conjunction is almost trine to Uranus and Taurus. So again, not every day has a whole lot of news, but every day the moon at least moves through the chart, and we are still in Leo. We're still, opposition by sign, but not by degree. Yesterday was the full moon. So, but we're in the full moon phase technically. So we've got a lot of water and earth still really strong in this chart. I'm noticing a lot of feminine energy, even though the sun and the moon are trying to bring us into more action oriented. We got our luminaries are the only ones, I think. Luminaries and Pluto are the only ones in a masculine sign. So they're trying to drag us into the 21st century, and we are just not ready yet. Let's go ahead to smaller scale weather, smaller than planetary weather at least. Let's look at today's solar weather. We had 4 coronal mass ejections happen today. Let's see if any of them looked impressive. Let's take a look. Not too impressed. I'm honestly not too impressed. For having the moon in the sun sign, not too impressed. This is really the quadrant that we're looking at. Let's see, anything right at 10 a.m. I mean, sometimes we can just look at them all. Yeah, these are just not even, I'm not even gonna waste time looking at that. All right. Our sunspot regions are actually, this is like the quietest I've seen the sunspot regions look in a long time. Like since I've started broadcasting, this is the quietest the sun and the planets have been. We do have 2 areas of coronal holes facing Earth right now. Those will push fast solar wind. I see a filament here and one here. This one's already erupted, but I want to take a look at. Yeah, sunspot regions are way down. Look at the last 48 hours. What have we got here? Anything spectacular in the corona solar graph? Don't want to see the ad. Sorry, my heater just came on. If y'all can hear that, we are warm and toasty here. Yeah, that is just really. So, I mean, for solar maximum, this is extremely quiet, a very shy sun right now. I don't even think that we need to waste time on the looking at the composite, but I'm going to. Well, I want to take a look at this one, actually. See if the... Sorry, broadcasting in a Venus hour has my me all like internal and shy and like energy inward. Yeah. There are some areas starting to move around a little bit, but nothing looking unstable. Really like setting itself up for more activity down the line, but like look at this. We're not even really going to see. We're going to see some flickers and some pops, but nothing compared to the gorgeous filament eruption we had earlier in the week. Yeah. Y'all, it's a sleepy day on the sun. It's a sleepy day on the sun. It's a very, let's go back down to Earth and see what we've got down on the ground. I got, spoiler alert, not more fun. The weather's very, very quiet today on all scales. Let's take a look at current satellite imagery. Looking at, let's look at water vapor RGB. This is what I haven't shown this one in a minute, but again, the red, green, and blue are different levels of the atmosphere. So when it's white, all are represented as moisture, and this is tracking the water vapor signature. So it doesn't mean that it's been condensed into a cloud necessarily. It's just that's where there's more moisture. Beautiful sweeping across day. Still getting a lot of activity out of the Gulf right here. I mean, this is basically, I mean, it's really dissipating. What was over the Midwest yesterday is trailing off into the Atlantic. It's been a really overcast and generally like cloudy day, but we are waiting for more storms to brew out here. It looks like we've got some clean and clear and under control, like one little slot of chill action going on, and then we're going to dive right back into actual, let's look at the infrared. Yeah. got a little area of calm before these storms. The meteorologists are calling for 3 major storms as we get into February. So that'll be really interesting to see. Again, when I looked at some of the archetypes, some of the farmer's almanac type stuff for what should happen in Aquarius season, we're looking at nope, there goes the word. Well, we are looking at beginning moist and wet at the beginning of the season. Then we'll move into more snowstorms and then finish out Aquarius season with strong winds. That is what is determined by just the sun alone in Aquarius. Now, that does not count what's happening with the moon and other planetary aspects. And that's why it is so hard to statistically analyze astrology with the weather, because there are so many different little niches. There are so many different variables going on, and so many aspects of those variables can make to each other that it's very hard to control out like results. Plus, we don't have like a fake Earth to control out those results. Let's see. Let's look at not earliest available. No. Let's look from yesterday to today. What kind of earthquake situation we've had? See, guys, sometimes I am just going out here, like me basically live blogging my review of the weather, because I like to monitor the weather every single day. I really feel like it helps me stay in tune with real time, not fake time. Alrighty then. Okay, we've got more earthquakes in the Mid-Atlantic Ridge today. Remember, we saw one out here yesterday, and we are continuing the trend of 4s and 5s at 10 kilometers deep. What is happening 10 kilometers below the Earth's surface? Couldn't tell you. I haven't been in person, so I can't tell you exactly, but look at this. Just a hop, skip, and a jump over from the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. We have, that was yesterday. Yesterday we saw this Costa Rica earthquake, and then today almost like in Mexico and out here on the northern East Pacific rise. Now we've got, I see that we've got more deep quakes out in the Fiji Islands region. Right here, we've got deep and deepest quakes possible. Again, we're seeing more activity in California. I was expecting this for just like on a hunch reasons. And doesn't surprise me one bit that we are seeing more activity. You know, we had one up here on the border 2 days ago. Then yesterday we saw this one in San Bernardino. And today we've got this one just like northwest of Sacramento at what they're calling the Geysers, California. I assume there's geysers there. So that is actually a really shallow one. That is a 4.18 at 2.78 kilometers deep. So that's extremely shallow, surrounded by a bunch of also extremely shallow little tremors in the 0 point something to 1 point something magnitude range. There was also a 2 at actually like 1 minute after the 4.18, there was a magnitude 2 earthquake very close to the same area. These are all in the same exact place. So probably a geyser having some activity. Geyser activities. Guys are activities. No, let's see. More into the New Madrid seismic zone here. Let's go back out to the West Pacific because that's where all the juicy stuff is happening. As we go back up into Canada, oh, we saw one in Vancouver today. Good. Love when Vancouver's rocking. Alaska going up into the Fairbanks region and then down into the Aleutian Islands. Then we are going over to Japan. These are from yesterday. Oh, this is from today. We've got 5.3 at 40 kilometers deep over here at this like Mariana subduction zone. I mean, these are really the volcano islands in Japan, which we are not seeing many in the island chain, even though Suwanosejima is erupting over here. Nothing from the Mariana Islands today. Oh, no, I lied. Here we go. This is Micronesia had a 5.1 today, right after midnight. Midnight UTC at least. Up here in the northern Philippines, got another 10-kilometer deep, magnitude 4.7. Another earthquake here. We got 3 in Papua New Guinea today. 4 different 5 point something 5 or greater magnitude earthquakes in Papua New Guinea. And then here in Indonesia, we've got more shallow 5s. Just a trend that we keep seeing of these like very shallow 5s. And then, like I mentioned, we did have some momentum coming out of the plate here in the Fiji Islands. Now let's take a look at our Kyrgyzstan update. Let's see if they're still seeing some aftershocks. Yes, it looks like they are still seeing these echo quakes. Again, the shallow 10-meter depth earthquakes. What is happening 10 kilometers below our Earth's surface? We just don't know. I just don't know, at least. Someone might. Someone might know what's going on, but I don't. Let's see. So they are still getting rocked with quake after quake here on the Xinjiang, Kyrgyzstan border region. And then here in on the border of Afghanistan and Tajikistan, we've got 4.1 at 136 kilometers depth. Now, we saw these yesterday, the earthquake in Djibouti and the earthquake in Turkey, just one right after the other. I think this is, what time did that happen? It was 1700 hours yesterday and 1300 hours yesterday. And then we also, we've got one in Italy today. We have today at 1500 hours UTC, we saw a 4.4 earthquake at 273 kilometers deep. Let's see which part of Italy this is. It looks like it's right on the toe of the boot. Like right. No, it's more like off the coast of Naples, which is interesting because, well, actually, that's not Naples. This is, where is that? Very, very southern tip of Italy, in the Tremimian Sea. What is that? I don't even know. I don't even know what sea that is. Don't quote me on this. I thought it was closer to Naples, which was would have been concerning because that is where the Campi Flegrei volcano is waking up right now. A very deep earthquake out here, though. I'm sure the fish were fine. Gorgeous, beautiful waters out there, but yeah, really, I don't know what to make of that other than seeing the momentum go around the world. That's quite interesting. I am very curious about why there have been so few earthquakes reported here in Europe. I don't know what that's about, because I definitely see them registering on global quake and looking at a few different other data streams, I've been seeing some quakes centered around Austria, Croatia, northern Italy in the Alps, but we're not seeing them for some reason. Speaking of what we're not seeing, let's take a look at Iceland, because today they released a new hazard map and they made up a new hazard for Iceland. Sudden cracks, cracks, dangerous cracks. They let's see. Inflation continues at Svartsengi. Remember, that is the area where they have the power plant, the geothermal power plant, and the magma balloon underneath the power plant keeps inflating. So, yeah, we love that, especially because this is the power plant that gives power to most of Reykjavik, which is the population center of Iceland. Not great. It says that they have no idea what the time frame is, but it seems that the magma chambers under the entire Reykjanes Peninsula, they go like they're diagonal lines across the peninsula. It seems like they're all waking up, which is not great news because one of those goes right under Reykjavik. And if we thought that Grindavik would be a great loss, I mean, it would almost be devastating to the entire country if Reykjavik was lost. Yeah, the new hazard is called subsidence into a fissure. So we have subduction zones, so micro scale subduction zones that are so small that it's just crumbling like a good a good buttery baked good that you froze the butter for a crumble. Like, this is not structurally sound. This is amateur hour construction zone. That's what the the ground is like over here. Hazard due to sinkholes, overlying fissures is significant. So they've also got some weather going on. They've got weather going on. Technically, there's always weather going on, but southwesterly blizzard, they've got blizzard conditions here. So that'll be really interesting to see on their earthquake data is compromised when there's severe weather. But it's not completely erased. It's just like more error prone. Because again, I remember that we measure all weather in the same units, and weather includes earthquakes. Sorry, it just does. So atmospheric weather will definitely affect the geological weather. Now, let's see. We've got all along this zone still cranking out those earthquakes. Let's take a look at the Reykjanes Peninsula, where we are seeing some recent earthquakes just right now. Recent, very sparse though. I mean, like, compared to the what we saw when there was an active eruption, they're sparse, and they're very well defined into the town of Grindavik. But really, what is concerning me about potential Reykjavik, there's the magma chambers, the systems underneath the ground go like this. These are the big magma tubes. And not the magma tubes that we've been calling intrusions and dikes and stuff, but they're like parallel lines of discrete areas of magma going under the whole peninsula. And it is possible that the one underneath Reykjavik will wake up for the first time since it's become a majorly inhabited zone. So that's fun. Let's look at the ridge. Have we had, yeah, we had an earthquake out here. That 3 was yesterday. Not much since then. Let's go ahead and check out our volcanic news. Let's see what's happening in the magmasphere. The asthenosphere, down the lithosphere, all the way down to the core. Let's see what's percolating up. This map doesn't really show me much news. So let's take a look at volcanoes. Which volcanoes are erupting now? What is currently erupting? Santiaguito volcano, Reventador, Stromboli still going on. Campi Flegrei, the one that I was saying is near Naples. I like that this one's just called Volcano. Not Volcano, Volcano. Popo is still going. Santiaguito in Guatemala. That might be where we saw that earthquake activity in Guatemala, because we've also got Fuego going off. So both of Guatemala's earthquakes are both of Guatemala's volcanoes are actively erupting right now. Let's see. That would explain our Djibouti earthquake yesterday. We've got an Ethiopian Erta Ale in the Danakil Depression, which is like part of that East African rift system where the continent is splitting apart, kind of. That is actively erupting. Nyiragongo in the Democratic Republic of Congo is in an active eruption phase. We've got most of Indonesia's volcanoes still actively erupting. We've got a lot of Sunosjima and Sakurajima is still erupting. Let's see. Volcanic ash advisories all over the place. Samiru, not much new, honestly, through the entire sphere of weather. Not a whole lot of news today. Very interesting, but relaxing. kind of nice to just have another day where nothing happened. Again, people really want the northern lights to come through, but it looks like we're just going to be able to see some from the fast solar wind from those coronal holes facing us. Interesting. Very quiet. Some of us have not chosen to level up and induce resonance with our weather, so I guess that we are in a holding pattern pretty much. Looks like maybe across most of Canada tonight would be where you could see aurora. I want to go check out the that's not what I want. Let's take a look at our derived winds. Yeah, not much activity. I mean, there is activity, obviously, but not much well-defined cyclonic activity going on. You can kind of see as you go up in the atmosphere, like not much veering or backing either way. I mean, a little bit. Very foggy, overcast, just kind of sleepy and dreary everywhere. Are we in the Twilight Zone? Is this a Twilight Zone episode of Today's Weather Tonight where everything is just like as boring as it possibly could be? I mean, I'm not bored. I'm just disappointed. I need to come up with better stock jokes to tell on days like this when the weather is just sleepy. I mean, let's take a look at our hazard maps. I don't want to say that and then have somebody's house being washed down the drain, you know? But it's not a lot. It's not too much weather. No, I don't want models. I want hazards. Let's check out our hazards map today. Yeah, rainy, dreary. I guess we're in a flood watch in from Alabama, Georgia, parts of Tennessee, North Carolina, all up and down the southern Appalachian chain, and then fog. A lot of fog still everywhere. And then these little tributaries, these rivers are at risk of flooding, but we only have one flash flood warning. Not a whole lot other than a like really wet, warm January. I mean, the most dramatic part of this warm up has already passed. We do have a high wind advisory in California and still seeing a winter storm advisory up here in all the way on the two most northern areas of the United States. Let's look at let's see how warm, because it is unseasonably warm. Yeah, not look at that. I mean, can you believe that this time last week we were seeing a bunch of cold polar air mass right here, and now we've moved all the way back up into the 60s and 70s? I mean, there's 80 degrees in the Florida Keys. Like, this is a January thaw if I ever saw one. We are seeing all kinds of flooding risks associated with that and fog risks associated with that, but really not too much going on there. Look at how warm this is. I mean, and this is what actually happens. Remember, I'm not showing you a forecast. I'm showing you a rearcast of what just happened. Very warm spilling into here. I mean, it's getting a little colder. It's trying to trough down here, but we still got that nice high out here off the East Coast, and that is keeping a lot of the troughing down. Keep this ridge propped up like a tent pole. But that means that all of that energy has been going off into our northern Atlantic area, where causing a blizzard in Iceland. So let's see. Let's take a look at these wind gusts. What are all these high wind advisories about? Oh, that would be it. I want to see gusts. Don't want MSLP because it's too. Yeah, I mean, that is pretty high off those coasts, and I don't understand why these are in such highly warned. I guess it's at the upper elevations we're seeing those high wind advisories. It looks a lot more like a topographic warning. Alrighty, y'all, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do when we don't have too much weather to talk about? I wonder. Should I cut my hair on stream? Should I just start chopping? Would y'all watch that? Would y'all watch a video of me chopping off my hair? I mean, not all of it, but like I washed it the other day. Yesterday, I went out in the rain and like got all soaked to the bone. And so I came in and showered, and like my hair does not like to be washed. It is very unhappy when it's super soft and fluffy and has just zero natural oils in it. Do you see how dry it looks when you wash it? Ugh. I hate the texture of hair that's just been freshly washed. Like, I don't need product. I need my own natural scalp oils throughout the hair. Okay? I need this to be nice, and I need to use a natural bristle brush that soaks up my hair oils and redistributes it. And I just, again, too dry. Well, it's been kind of a short update from me today. Let's go ahead and close out with a bit of a reading of what the cosmic energy is sending our way. What's the weather on the scale larger than the planets? Good sounds. ASMR. I love ASMR. If y'all would watch an ASMR video, comment down below. If you had any big fun today, let me know. Seems like a sleepy weather day. Oh, this is who popped out, and that's how we're getting. Didn't even try very long. All right. Okay, that's good. That's a good one. First one here is gorgeous, gorgeous crescent moon nighttime scene. It says, we're all working toward the same goal, joy. Whether it seems like it or not, you are all working toward the same ultimate goal of joy. You are just approaching things in different ways, and all of it is working. All of it is working. Even if you see somebody out there and you're like, how is that contributing to joy? Trust the process, okay? Be your own thing, do your own joy, and it'll settle out. Gotta trust it. Our next one is that jumped out at us today was, I want to feel good. Today, no matter where I am going, no matter what I am doing, no matter who I am doing it with, it is my dominant intention to see that which I am wanting to see. So, beautiful, beautiful. Look for the joy and the good feelings everywhere you go. I am going to practice that right now. I'm glad that there weren't any destructive coronal mass ejections, earthquakes, or volcanoes today. I'm glad that nobody's getting pummeled by an ungodly amount of rain. I'm glad that we have so few hazard warnings on our map today. I'm really glad that, the weather was just kind of beautiful for everyone, even if it was dreary, overcast, and gray at a lot of places. It was at least not dangerous. And that is probably more than I will be able to say for most days in 2024. So let's take that with a grain of gratitude salt of, yeah, let's remember to be grateful when there's basically no weather to report. It is more work on my charisma, but I need to work on it. So kind of nice to have just a calm, serene day from every scale. So probably going to be a great night for sleep for a lot of us. So yeah, that's all I've got for y'all today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night, Saturday night. Maybe Saturn's Day will bring something more challenging. I love you guys. Have a great evening. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. And as always, don't forget to look at the weather because the weather's looking at you. What does that mean? I don't know. You'll have to figure it out, but I mean it. Okay, the weather is